So I went and got my real estate license just so that I could talk to the real estate agent and understand what they were talking about and find out how to get this no down payment or low down payment so I could tell everybody else I knew that was wanting to get a house how to do it. So that was 37 years ago, and I'm still doing it. I'm still hipping people to how you can get you a house with programs that are out there. Michael.
Mm-hmm.
You guys probably have seen Michael. I'm so proud of this young man. Michael is the station agent, and you know, if you go on a house tour, if you watch a house tour, Michael's gonna tell you to bring your ass in and look. So go ahead and talk some, Michael.
I've been in real estate 5 years. My big reason for getting into real estate was kind of similar to Sylvia. I noticed that black people didn't own as much as we did back in my grandparents' time. And I felt like that was backwards, right? You think we would come along further and start owning more, and I realized that the black home ownership numbers were lower now than they were in the 60s and 70s. And a lot of it was people my age. I'm 36, we're millennials, we're, getting up in the age, and a lot of us don't own. So I wanted to kind of be the voice of reason. I'm not, your typical realtor, I guess. I come from Oakland, I talk like I'm from Oakland, I act like I'm from Oakland, and then I'm able to talk to people, my peers, and people younger than me, and they're able to kind of understand it. So I feel like I've kind of carved the lane out in real estate.
So, out of you people that are here today, why are you here? Did you want to buy a house? Did you want to sell a house? You want to get a job in the real estate industry? What? I need to know why you're here so I can talk to you about it.
Buy.
You want to buy? Okay, what about you?
Invest.
Invest, okay.
Buy.
Buy?
/invest.
I actually want to have a home built on my property.
Okay. We have development. We do that too.
Buy, but not necessarily in California.
Okay, we're global. We're global. That's what I was telling Latifa.
Yeah.
We're global. We got people all over. So you might not want to buy in here, but you say, Sil, I want to buy a house in, say, Texas. Okay, I'll hook you up. We're global. We got people everywhere. But let me talk to you about some of these programs. Michael, everybody that you have helped, have they come at you with money? Did they have money to get into
No.
a program? I mean, not into a program. Did they have money to just go and buy a house?
Mm-hmm. Most of the people I help have it.
Has everybody's credit been A1?
No.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? They in a house. Because a lot of times it's not, it's who you know. They say it's not what you know, but it's who you know. Because if you know me, if you know Mike, we know where to get the money. We know where the programs are. And some people think they get information from other people just talking that's not in the industry. And they're saying, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. But they don't really know because they haven't really talked to somebody. And then they come and talk to us and find out that we can help you out. I had a family 2 years ago. I got them into a house. They were from Jamaica. It was my most challenging to date transaction ever. And I thought it was going to be my easiest, but it was the hardest because I was working between two countries, and I ended up getting them $130,000 in grants. And that's money that they did not have to pay back, but they were able to put toward their home. So they were able to buy a higher priced home than they wouldn't have been able to do without that money, without that grant. Now the things are, you can't be thinking like, oh, okay, I'm gonna talk to you after this. With these programs and stuff, the money runs out. And this was several programs that we layered on top of each other. So like we got a little bit of money from one program, like we got, I think, $60,000 from one, and then we might have gotten, $40,000 from another, and then got the other 30 from somewhere else. I don't remember how it was, but we layer the programs. But see, because we know about the programs, there are programs for different things. If you graduated from an HBCU, BMO Bank could give you $8,500. If you're on Section 8, you can buy a house.
Yep.
You can buy a house, just like Section 8 subsidizes the rent every month, they will subsidize your mortgage. But you have to be in the program. And you have to have somebody like me or Michael tell you about the program and help you through the paperwork. But now we got a new program that's out again called the California Dream for All Shared Appreciation Program. You wanna talk about it?
So it's a good program. It is it's a niche, but you have to fit a very niche buyer. So you have to be a first-time home buyer and a first-generation home buyer to qualify for it, right? And if that's the case, they give you up to $150,000 down. It is a loan. It's a loan, so it's shared appreciation, it's shared equity with the CalHalf program. So it's really geared toward people who really need that, they really need that help with the down payment. It runs out. It's a
random
lottery.
drawing. Well, it's not a lottery, because a lottery means it's free money and it has to be paid back. So it's a random drawing. And what they do is everybody, the application period is open right now. It's from February 24th until March the 16th. So if this is something that you're interested in, you need to talk to a loan officer who's with that program and get all your paperwork in.
We got something for y'all.
And then if you thinking about it, you don't want to think about it. Just go ahead and put your application in, because then if you get picked, because I don't know how they're going to pick you. I don't know if they do the wheel of names or if they put it in a hat, I don't know. But if you get picked, you can still decline. You can say you don't want to do it. But you would hate to be sitting here thinking about, I kind of want to do it, should I do it? And then at the last minute, you scrambling trying to get your stuff together. Because this money, last year they didn't have no money. The first year they did it, I think was in 22. They ran out of money in 11 days. They only allotting about 300 million. Now people say 300 million sound like a lot of money. It's not a lot of money, because when you think about it, the average home in California is about $1 million, okay? So that's only 300 homes for the whole state. So if you want to get in where you fit in, I advise you to go ahead and try and get this program. Now, first generation, their definition of a first generation home buyer is someone whose parents did not own a home in the last 7 years. So if your parents own a home now, you're not eligible.
Right.
If your parents died, and if they owned a home when they died, and even if they died 35 years ago, you're not eligible.
Yep.
Because they owned a home when they died, they were a homeowner at that time. So you're not eligible. But if your parents don't have a house right now, or if your parents passed away and they didn't have a house when they passed away, then you are eligible. And another thing, if you're a foster child, then you don't have to worry about that parental portion. They do check to, you do have to give some kind of statement of who your parents are, because they will check to see if they own the home. And then once you get picked, you have 90 days to find a property, and they will give a little extension. But basically you have 90 days to get in contract. Not to move in, but to get in contract. You have 90 days. You don't have to pay, and the shared appreciation, let me explain that in simple terms. Like, say you buy a house today for $500,000. They give you the 20% to put down, okay? And then say in 7 years or so the house is appreciated, and now it's worth $800,000. So when you sell it, right? So you have to pay back that 20% that they gave you for the down payment, and then you have to pay 20% of the appreciation from that 500 to that 800, so that's another 300,000. That's what you have to pay back. That's your shared appreciation that you have to pay back and go on to your next house. That's a good program to help you get a foot in the door.
And so it does not include grandparents?
No. Just parents.
Okay.
No, excuse me. See, a lot of times in our community, I have found there's a mindset too. If your parents rent, a lot of times you rent.
Yeah.
If your grandparents rent, your parents rent, you rent, your kids rent.
Yeah.
We gotta get out. We gotta get off of that track. And that's what this is, because you know, a lot of times you'll hear people say that you were the first in your family to go to college or something. So now you're gonna be the first in your family to own property. And, like I said, there's the HB, that's just the program that's going on now, and it's really good. That's, there's the HBCU graduate program or alumni, and it's, $8,500 grant from BMO Bank, so you would have to go through them. There is, like I said, if you're on Section 8, you can buy a house. You just have to tell your, you have to tell the housing authority to put you in the housing program too. Because as it is, it's a rental program and a housing program, so if you're renting, you're in the rental program, but you need to tell them you want to get in the housing program also. And then that way you would be able to buy, using that Section 8 voucher. And like I said, they will subsidize your mortgage the same way they subsidize the rent.
Is there an age limit for the Section 8? I know people who are on it, who are.
There's no age limit, but you do have to have a job. You do have to have some you have to have some decent credit. I don't know exactly what it is. You would have to talk to a loan officer that does that, and they will tell you. And again, yeah, like you said, you know some people. Tell everybody you know, because you never know. Somebody might be wanting something and they didn't know about it. They didn't know who to reach out to. They didn't even know it existed. And so it's something that we definitely need to share. There's another program with, if you're a Native American.
How do you verify? You have to be a tribal member?
You would have to be a tribal member, and it would be verified. The loan officer that would do that would process that paperwork, they would give you all the paperwork that they need and take all the paperwork from you that they need.
Got it.
So they would, you know, there is a registry where like people can get free stuff if you are Native American. So I guess you would have to be on that already.
Yeah, they give you a special card that you carry.
I don't know how to get one. My grandfather, well, we have him documented as living with his uncle on the reservation, but I don't know if we're like on their rolls or anything. And this was in not Oklahoma, but I think it was, I want to say it was in Louisiana, but I don't know. I'll talk to you later. I need to figure out
How to find out, how to get on that registry.
Yes, and how to,
Yeah.
and
then
not
once you-
just for this, but for everything.
Right. But now you know that there is a loan product
Yes,
specifically for that.
that's the motivation.